Hello, this is Sharon here again with something new. Today I'd like to talk about, elaborate a little bit more on prayers. Like I was saying that prayers is like it's it's such an important thing, and it doesn't. I don't know if it's necessarily has to be. Well, I think so. It has to be performed in a certain way, right? At certain times. But every day you wake up, you have to think about God, right? I remember, because I was, regardless, I was blessed to have my mother and my father in my life till my father was 95 years old. He was living with my mom, and he passed away. Okay? 93, 92, something like that, in between. Something like that. He born in way down there. Way down there. So I had a lot of wisdom, right? And I was always able to call Dada, right? And today is the day that he passed away. So I didn't really have people around me, so I enjoyed by myself, did up my hair, did my little party dancing by myself, and had my tea. I should have wine, eh? I should have took a little tip of wine, but maybe after. Maybe, because wine makes me tired, and, in this situation, you can't be too tired. Anyway, um, so I was so blessed, and still my mother's alive, and I was so blessed to have both of them in the house. So whenever, way up in my age, right? Because in 2000, and he just died in the 2000 and double digits. I won't give you the exact year, but it was today. And 2000 in the 20s too, 2000, yeah, he went up to 2000s and double digits, way up in the double digits, right? And he was the smart. You see, when my father wrote, he never wrote like regular people. He wrote like, with the curls at the end, and he was writing fast. It wasn't like he was taking his time and printing it to curl the H's, or no. He was just going at it. And everything was scripted beautiful. Everything. He had great handwriting, great, study skills and everything. He was great. So I had a lot of wisdom growing up. And while I was an adult, way up into my 50s, my dad was there. So, and every time you go, you get more wisdom, right? And my dad was a preacher who read the Bible back to front to back to front to back to front. And when he finished, he'd go back again. And so from we were little kids, we'd have to get up early in the morning and read the Bible, right? And at that time, wasn't the most favorite thing to do. But now, every story we have to go over everything from Meshach and Abednego to Sarah and to Saul and his daughters, and Jacob and his coat, and his coat of many colors, and Moses, and I could just go on and on and on and on. My father has filled me up so much with the Bible that when a story is told, I automatically can go back in my head and say, I remember that one, we read that one, and we had to, repeat back what we learned, in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. And that went on for a long time until we got teenagers, But it was good for us in a way that we know God, right? It's up to us whether we really want to be faithful to Him or not. So in so part of my everything comes from the fact that I had my mother and my father in my life, and I was able to pull wisdom way up into my age, right? When I say pull wisdom, like while I was raising my children, I was still able to pull wisdom from my parents, right? Even like something happened, I would call my father, and he'd be right on it. He'd be right on it. He'd be on it way up into my 50, well, to my, at least till my 45s. Because after that, he got a little bit, frail, but he was still like, I could call my father at any time. And he had children, he had more than me, but especially my dad, right? My mom is like always too very smart, and my mom is sharp, right? She's the type of woman to be like, okay, enough said. Like you said enough. She'll get on. She's the type of woman that can't have a conversation on the phone. You want to come over, talk. She can talk with you, and for a while, she's not gonna take it overboard. She's the type of woman to say, okay, like you've been here 2 hours, and I love talking to you, but now I got to get on with my life, right? So I learned that from my mom. It's like she wouldn't have a conversation on the phone past, like, she'll actually be like, okay, are you done? Because my ears is hot and I got to get off the phone. So I learned these things, like it's not really important to be yaga 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 on the phone. I see my mom, right, way up into my life. So it's not like, I had a big problem growing up. It wasn't, I mean, I never had a big problem. Like at first, you have you're younger, you hear all kind of disputes in the home, right? But then when you move out and you go back and you visit, and oh, even when you go back and visit with my parents, right? My father, you better make sure you go back and visit and he asks you how things are going. You better have something good to tell him, like, because you couldn't go to this house with no loud noise or no going on like this and this. No, you have to have respect like you were 2 years old. Yeah, you couldn't go there with any kind of, all this is lost though. All this kind of things are lost, right? Um, we couldn't go there and persuade. I never swore in front of my parents. I think something, I think when I swore in front of my mother the first time, it happened, and I didn't do that again, but the first time it happened is because she said to me, okay, I don't want you to say nothing, okay? But I'm going to tell you this. I'm like, what? She said I was mugged. I was like, get the fuck out of here. But then I was like, oh, sorry. Because I couldn't believe it. You know what I mean? Even now, just feeling it, my legs got a little bit anxiety. Just speaking on that because of my mom. You know what I mean? It's like, damn. Anyways, so today is my father's memorial, and my father lived till 90 something, and I stayed all the way. And I did have, when he was closing his eyes and everything, I begged him to be with me, and he opened up his eyes, but they were all white, right? And bluish, light blue, like he was in the sky, like it was a reflection of the sky. And he wasn't blind, right? And and he tweeted like a bird. He tweet, tweet, sweet, sweet, tweet, tweet. And they said, oh, he's a vegetable state and this. And I went to go in the bathroom and because I was feeding him, with the little sponge because he couldn't eat that much. So I went in the bathroom and I came out. His hands were moving, his legs were kicking. He had a great thing on his face, but his eyes were like he was in the sky. Is that crazy? Like his eyes, like the the eyes were just like baby blue, but very light. And then my mother called me and she said, well, your father came here and he was jumping on the bed and he's saying, he's free and he's this and that. Why are you still doing there? Why are you stopping